Hi, you guys. Welcome back to another episode of Talk Shop Live with your host, Coach Salida, um, wrap dress expert. No, I'm just kidding. um, um, Coach empowerment, the whole 9 yards. Right, right. So tonight's show, thank you guys for hanging out with us here. Thank you over on UCN. Thank you over on Fat and Fabulous, and also on our YouTube channel, which is Lita McCall. I apologize for my intro. My intro was real terrible, huh? I'm not being critical of myself, okay? If you paid attention to the description of what we're going to talk about tonight, we're going to talk about affirmations. Last week's show, well, Sunday's show was awesome, right? I think it was awesome. I had a great time, and it was so soul seeking for me to talk about that, right? Um, because lots of times we don't realize that a lot of things that we do kind of really affects us, right? And we're not. I don't want to get the impression that I'm just saying a lot of things just to be talking, just to fill the air. No, because all these things I talk to you guys about definitely it hits me, right? Um, as you can see, she has the dress I had on Sunday, right? And I have the other wrap dress on. And we'll talk about this. We'll get into this. It should be inside the shop, and it also should be over on our other "You Can't Clip My Wings" shop rituals too. So I have them in both places on purpose. Okay. Hopefully, either one of those places you will pick it up. As you know, November sale is going on, and in November we're selling our dresses for $59. Not only what comes with that dress, that it comes with an affirmation card, and also comes with one of our Start Healthy magazines, right? So that comes with the mag. I mean that the dress comes with the magazine. As soon as you get it ordered, we get it into you, and we will get it out to you. Okay. Be the one tries to pride itself, will pride itself, or is priding itself on making sure that we get the product to you, okay, in a nice, timely manner. But as soon as you pre-order the wrap dresses, we will get them out. Okay, so tonight we're talking affirmations, and I know probably you guys have heard this word before, probably even practice it, right? Probably knows everything that you can think of about what an affirmation is, right? So I thought it was important that we might go back to the basics, talking about what affirmation is. Um, Me being who I am, you know me, I'm going to go research the information on it, and so that I'm able to share that information with you, right? So, an affirmation is this: an affirmation is only this thing, it's a positive statement that you repeat to yourself, right, to help change the negative thoughts and build confidence. Okay. When you focus on qualities or goals as if they are already true, right, you can reinforce positive thinking and overcome some of the limited thoughts that we have, okay, or limited beliefs that we have, right? It often is used to reduce stress, right? Improve self-esteem, and also boost your overall well-being. Okay, that's what I love affirmations because they do help us be able to uh, kind of get us in the right mindset. What I do is I try to listen to affirmations for about 15, maybe 20 minutes a day in the morning time when I get up. There's several of them on YouTube that work perfectly. And it gets you motivated to get your day going. It gets you motivated to look forward to all the great things that are going to happen in your day. It actually helps start your day, right? So the way that you use them, let's talk about how you use affirmations. So affirmations, you create a positive statement, right? And I really want you guys to kind of participate and actually write a positive affirmation. And when you write that positive affirmation, make sure that you're saying it, because one of the things we want to do is get in the mode or the mindset to say it. Actually, say it out loud to yourself. Repeat it as many times as you want to. You can repeat it for 2 minutes. Say you want to repeat it for 5 minutes. Just long as you're actually getting it out there, right? So you can start with phrases like "I am," okay, "I can," right, or "I choose," and then you say something positive after you say that. And so you want to say something that's going to get the desired outcome that you're looking for. Okay, keep that in mind. You want to get something that's going to give you that desired outcome. Whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, that's what you want to do. Okay. So we could say something like, for example, um, I am a confident person, or I can handle this challenge. Okay, it doesn't have to be anything fancy schmancy, right? Keep that in mind. It doesn't have to be anything fancy that you need to say in order to say what you need, to get what you want. Because it's all about how it's working for you. It has nothing to do with us. It has a lot to do with what you say and how you see it, right? Another example you can say is, um, let's see, you can say, I release, I reclaim, I rise as a legacy. That would be something I would say because it's pertaining to what I'm doing. But it also can be something you say because that's something that you might need to say at that time. But it depends on what is the moment that you're actually saying the affirmation and what are you trying to get from the affirmation, right? Okay. Um, so the next thing is you repeat it regularly. That means say that statement out loud or write it down often, right? Or ideally with focus and with conviction. Now, another way to do it is writing it down. Okay, that's another way of doing it. Because I use my notebook as a journal, I have everything in it. I will put certain affirmations in here and I would write it on every page. If it's something I would, every time I would write in this book, I would write the affirmation in the book. Okay, at that same time. I would usually write it at the top. Okay. Um, there's affirmations that you can say for a certain amount, say for 30 days, say for 22 weeks, you're going to say a certain affirmation. Every day you get up, you're going to say it in the morning, you're going to say it in the evening time. Now, there's a method called 369. And I think out of my other shadow book, that's what I learned about the 369 method. Um, so you say it 3 times, or you write it 3 times in the morning when you get up. You write it 6 times in the afternoon, and then you write it 9 times, or say it 9 times in the after before you go to bed. 369, and you can do that for as long as you want. Say you want to do it for a whole week, okay, and see how you're changed because we have a lot of negative thoughts that go through our mind all through the day, and it really sometimes don't give us a chance to get positive things in there. So it's almost like you have to force the positivity in there, right? To make it happen, right? Um, so you repeat it regularly, like I said. You either say it out loud or you write it down, okay? You focus on the present or desired future. So you focus on what's going on right now. So what you do is you frame your affirmations as if your goal is already achieved, right? Such as I am creative, okay, or I am a good friend. Something you already are, right? You've already claimed. Be specific. I can't even say the word. Be specific and realistic about what you're saying, right? So, um, some affirmations can be bold. It often helpful to create ones that are both meaningful, right, and believable for you. Know what your limits are, right? Know what your boundaries are. Know what you know that's going to happen for you, okay? I'm not saying don't put it out there in that sense, in the boldness, but put it out there where you know it's a realistic something you can actually, for sure that you're going to be able to get through, right? Or it's going to actually come into fruition, right? So it's often easier to be it's often easier or helpful to create something that's believable for you, right? Um, for example, instead of saying I am a millionaire, try I am learning to manage my finances better, because that's what you got to do in order to get to that goal. Again, all these, they really need to be actionable affirmations, things that you can make happen, right? Um, and it's important um, to understand that, right? So when we talk about self affirmation, so let's say, and guys, we definitely, for journal prompts, we definitely don't realize that we also in those, when we answer some of our journal prompts, it can be in an affirmation type answer. So they go together, right? So when we talk about self affirmation theory, there's actually a theory. It talks about present tense statements about yourself that build self-esteem, which we already know that, and confidence. So when you say I am enough, I am worthy, or I am worthy of love, I am strong, I am capable, and I am proud of myself. Because those are the self type of affirmations you want to say. These phrases can be repeated, right, to challenge negative thoughts, right? And then reinforce the positive that you want about yourself. I am beautiful. No matter what nobody else thinks about you, I am beautiful. That's what you have to say to yourself. I am beautiful. Okay. Um, Another one we can say, I am smart. Okay. I am smart. Nobody else has to think that you're smart, right? As long as you think you're smart, that's where we want to be, right? Um, so let's talk about some affirmations about self-worth. Okay. So now that we're talking about the self affirmation theory, which goes under self-care, right? Is I am enough, I am worthy of love and happiness, and my value is not dependent on others people's opinions. That's for people who have a hard time not seeking validation from the outside, right? I mean, that's what I would say, right? So well, that's the one for self worth, right? The other one is for self confidence, thinking about self confidence. I am confident in my abilities. I believe in myself, and I can handle, okay, I can handle whatever comes my way, right? And I think what I want to do is I hope you guys can hear it. I'm going to play a couple of affirmations from one of my affirmation books. I told you I have one. I don't think I told you guys that. I have a book of 1001 affirmations for African American women. So I'm going to play a couple of those too, so you'll get an example of what I'm talking about when I talk about affirmations, when you actually hear them and how you are to repeat them, right? So for self love, hello, hi, Pumpkin. Good evening, Miss Hall. Thank you for showing up. So I'm going to share some of those. I'm going to play some of them with you guys. Hopefully, you can hear them. Okay, so for self love, love and respect myself. I love and respect myself. That's something you can say to yourself. I am beautiful inside and out. Yeah, okay. And I choose to be kind to myself. So those are things that you can do right at this very moment. Just right at this very moment, you can do it. You can say it any time of day you want to say it. Don't necessarily have to be said in the morning time. You can say affirmations all through the day. I just told you about the 369 theory, where you say that same affirmation 3 times, or you write it 3 times in the morning, and then you write it 6 times in the evening time. I mean, in the afternoon, and then in the evening you write it 9 times. You do it every day, willing to, you put yourself on a goal and see how long you can do the 369 method and see what it does. What's the end result? You can do it for a week, right? And see what happens at the end of that week after you continue to write it over and over again, right? um, So let's talk about affirmations for strength and resilience. If you're at that point where you just need that, I am strong, right? I can do hard things, right? And I am growing and improving every day. So it's almost like a way of you saying those type of things, but also making sure you have it, you're saying it out loud, but you have to say it with um, conviction, saying that you really want this to happen. You really want you to be able to do all these things, right? When you're trying to achieve goals, okay, I am on the right path. My goals are achievable, right? And I will take action to accomplish my goals, right? The big thing is when we're doing affirmations, you definitely have to repeat them, right? And do them on a daily basis. Um, Also, another time to do them in challenging times when things get rough, okay? To keep yourself focused, okay? And keep the limited beliefs out of your mind, definitely have some that you want to do, right? Um, you also can do affirmations along with your prayer and meditations, right? You can do your affirmations on the way if you're working, like if you need that time on your break. Do affirmations anytime, okay? There's not no particular time to do, but it's definitely you. It's all about what you want, okay? Definitely don't get it twisted like everybody has to be involved in this. No, this is a private thing. This is how you feel, okay? Um, and the way that you see them and how you kind of break them down in your mind, how you want to say them, is so important, right? It is so important. So let me try this. Let me play some for you. Let me see. Let me go in. Okay. Look, you guys, is already tuned up. So let's see if you guys can hear this one. I don't know which one it falls under, but it's already playing. So show you that I keep it in my what's the name? I'm just going to turn it on. I am thankful for the unlimited resources that continue to show up with helping me become a better parent. So she's talking about family now. I am thankful for the unlimited resources that continue to show up with helping me become a better parent. I deserve to be around those who love me. I deserve to be around those who love me. I express my appreciation towards my family every day. This is one about family. I express my appreciation towards my family every day. My family has a lot of fun with each other. My family has a lot of fun with each other. I am growing more confident in my parental role every day. I am growing more confident in my parental role every day. I can easily provide wholesome, good food that my family loves to eat. I can easily provide wholesome, good food that my family loves to eat. I love helping others where and when I can. Okay, I'm going to stop that one. So that's one. That's the 100 The 1001 affirmations for African American women. That one's right there. And then this is another one that I have.
This is Audible. Positive affirmations for Black women to increase confidence and self-love. Written for BIPOC women with a focus on motivation, leadership, healing, growth, health, money, and success. Written by Kayla Holder, narrated by Latasha Kennedy. Introduction. These affirmations speak to the Black woman you currently are and are going to become. As you read and reflect on each one, particularly focusing on how they make you feel. As you absorb these affirmations, I suggest you choose your favorite. Affirmations. I am a strong, independent Black woman. I am the creator of my life. I can overcome anything. I am a force to be reckoned with. Coarse or fine, long or short, my hair tells a beautiful story that others have the privilege of bearing witness to. I only speak good things about myself to all, including myself. I am deserving of kind, gentle, and genuine love. Every day is a new opportunity to show that I am unstoppable. Greatness lives in me. Everyone around me is a source of inspiration. Success is written into my destiny. No man, woman, or any other hurdles will ever change this. I focus my time and attention on sowing and tending to the seeds that will bear an abundance of fruit in my life. My complexion is as it should be, exquisite in every way. Every day, I discover something new that I love about myself. I am becoming the woman I have envisioned. What I have to share with the world is worthy of an audience of many. I speak with confidence despite any nervousness or doubt. I share my perspective with the understanding that I have the power to speak into the greatness of other Black women. No longer will my beauty be subject to the opinions of others. I am choosing to be my own beauty standard. I belong here. I am wanted. I matter. Every day, I choose me. Life may throw me lemons, but I'll cover them in resin and show the world just how beautiful yellow is against my skin tone. Abundance is lovingly webbed into the essence of who I am.
Okay, so I played you some from 1001 affirmation, and they all have them broke down just like we do with the journal prompts. She had it broke down to where she talked about family, how important family is. These right here, kind of a mixture of different facets of who we are as African Americans. Positive affirmations for Black women to increase confidence and self love. I found these on Audible book. I'm telling you guys, I play certain things during the daytime if I'm in the middle of doing something, say I'm washing dishes or washing clothes or in here writing. I will play these uh, affirmations in the morning time before I actually get out my bed. I really, literally, I go to YouTube. I don't play these, but I go to YouTube and I pick up certain ones on YouTube and I play those on YouTube. um, several times, or like for instance, they have them for like 15 minutes, 10 minutes, um, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever. And I literally listen to them that way. Um, Now, let me tell you something. Let me tell you what you shouldn't do. Do not do affirmations laying down in a relaxed mode, because you will go to sleep. Because the voices make you sleepy, they will make you go to sleep. And I have done that at times. The best thing to do is listen to it once you get up. Um, you can take affirmations, right, and put them on sticky notes and put them on your mirror. I did that before, where I put them around my mirror, and in the mornings when I get up, go, if I'm in the restroom or whatever, and I look at them and kind of repeat them right then and there. That's another way of doing it, being able to repeat them right then and there. Get you a board. What do you call them, kind of boards? You know what I'm talking about. A dry erase board. Write them on the dry erase board. If it's in your office, wherever it's at, somewhere where you can actually look at them, right? Um, I told you guys I took my closet door in here and I actually painted it with chalkboard paint, right? Right? So I actually have chalk right here that I actually write on my door. Like right now, I have this thing on my door, and it's actually my affirmation, or my sort of like my pledge. I said, I am Salita McCall, and I will be working my business to make sure that it's successful, right? And then I put down the different things that I need to do to make sure that it's successful in everything I do. I even gave myself a monthly amount that I want to make every month, right? Um, I also told myself, don't get discouraged, right? When things don't, pop up the way you want to, don't get discouraged. Um, and also, I tell myself, pivot if you need to, adjust, be able to adjust no matter what you're doing, be able to adjust. Don't get stuck in that one mode, right? And not move around and not change anything. Be able to pivot if it's needed. If you're not getting what you want out of the if you're not getting the results out of the first creation you made, that's all right. Don't be upset about it. I mean, just move on and do something different. Be able to do that. You have to be flexible in life, period. You have to be able to be adaptable, but you also have to be able to pivot. Okay? Switch it around. Let me see if I can go back this way, or maybe I need to go that way. Don't be afraid to do that, you guys. Okay? Um, Me being, it's very important that I promote what I do. Okay. That means everything. That means my writings, my coaching, the whole nine yards. Continue to promote it. And I told you guys, and I don't know if I told you guys, but my problem is that, and listen, I have my BS in business management, right? Business administration. I'm sorry. But you know what my issue is? I'm bad with marketing. I did very good. I did very well, not very good, but I did very well in marketing. But I'm terrible with marketing myself. I can market everybody else. I just have issues marketing myself. I don't know why. Maybe that's something I need to, that's a stuck situation I have that I need to work on. I need to probably work that out. But yeah, I have a problem with marketing myself. How do I go about putting myself out there without, you know, um, making it look like I'm being egotistical or any of those things. So it's a ongoing thing, and this is not just me. I'm just saying for me, but other people also I've talked to have had that problem with. I can do it, but I have a terrible part. I don't know how to market myself. And marketing, really, people will tell you. Anybody in business will tell you, marketing is the hardest part of doing anything. Is marketing, getting the market, getting to that target audience that you said you're trying to get to, right? Sometimes the target market we have is limited. It's not a big market. So is that where you want to be? So you have to make them choices of where do you want to do, and then where you want to be, and then you have to think about what's your niche. What is your niche? What is that thing that makes your product stand out? What is that thing that makes you, and that goes along, believe it or not, all of this goes along with your affirmations, because those affirmations are for you. How do you feel, okay, when you're in front of people? How do you feel when you're away from people? How do you feel in front of your family? Okay, because your closest critic is going to be your family, right? How do they make you feel when they don't agree with something you're doing, right? How do you handle that? So all of that plays a whole part. And when we talk about affirmations, we can do affirmations for business. Okay. We could do, and that goes into your success, your resilience, your strength. All of that falls into the same categories, right? It also falls in under finances. All right. How do we look at our finances when we're doing this? When you're thinking about your affirmation. One thing I read earlier where it says, like you saying, okay, one thing you said was, I want to be a millionaire. No, it's saying, don't say you want to be a millionaire, because that's like way out there. Say, I want to be financially successful. You could say that. I and that could mean anything. That could mean successful in what way? You have to know what that is for you. Okay? You have to figure out what that means for you to be successful. What is it going to take? Because these are all actionable and things that actually can happen. That's why I don't make them so hard that you can't reach that goal, right? So you want to make sure your affirmations are sweet and simple, right? But also with conviction that it hits to where you want it to hit, right? So what I'll do is I'll leave that up there for a little bit, right? I might leave that up there for maybe another week, and then I'll erase it and I'll put something else up there. Okay. I can put my top 3 goals up there, but I know it's there because I can look over there and see it on the door. And that's just a little ideal if you don't want to buy a huge chalkboard, or you, and I even have a dry erase board, but I thought it was more convenient because I'm in here all the time and I'm opening and closing that closet door. So why not put it on there so you automatically look at it, right? So that's the reason why I did that with that. I think my husband probably thought I was crazy. Like, where you going with that chalkboard paint? Where you going to paint with that? And when he realized I was going to do the door, oh, okay, you're going to do the door. And believe it or not, look. On the other side is painted the same color. So if I'm in there doing something, like sometimes, believe it or not, I use it for my sound um, room, because the closet has like a solid sound to it. There's no noise gets in there, right? So I can write something on there in there, and and look up at it. Either way it goes, it's on both sides of the door. So I can take my chalk in there and then every time I open it, I can look at it, right? So I try to make it convenient for me. Okay, it's not for anybody else to look at, but it's something I can look at. And like I said, I write on that chalkboard. The whole purpose of me turning the door into a chalkboard is that, or you can take one side of your room, right? You can take a portion of um room and make a chalkboard out of it. Chalkboard paint is not expensive at all, you know. um I didn't want to do the wall because I already painted the walls. I didn't want to do that, so that's the reason why I just said, okay, when I put the door back up, I'll make sure I painted that color. So I'm just saying these are the places that you can actually put your affirmations if you're interested in doing that. I definitely want you guys to do me a favor. I want you guys to write me at least 3 affirmations in the chat. 3 affirmations in the chat. And then I want you in the chat, okay? I would like for you to tell me why you picked those 3 affirmations. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up with my own affirmations, because um, I have to do that. I'm going to come up with 3 affirmations of my own, right? And I want you guys to, if you can tell me good evening, everyone, you can write affirmations in here. So I'm looking for you guys to write an affirmation right now. So you got 2 minutes starting right now to write me some affirmations, right? So I'm going to write 3 of them, right? Okay. You're going to see me do it. Am smart. That's one. See, um, they don't have to be something long and extravagant, right? Or in depth. Okay. I believe, did I do that right? No. I believe in myself. Very simple. Number two. Number three, I know, because these are the words. The two first words are I and whatever the word you want to put behind it. I know that my day, because let's talk about a day will be fruitful. So that would be something I would say in the morning time when I get up, or when I get up and get myself together, and then I'm already predicting what my day is going to be. I'm already saying my day is going to be fruitful. It's going to come, something's going to come out of my day that's going to actually make my day, right? So if I do this every morning, say, let's say I want to do it 5 times every morning, 5 days out of the week, I will say that every morning. At the end of those 5 days, you should see a difference in how you think, or even some type of actionable situation might take place where, yeah, okay, this was fruitful. You're like, something did come out of this, right? Um, the idea that you believe in yourself. Okay, say you use all three of those every day. Say, I am smart, I believe in myself, and I know my day will be fruitful. If I say all those things every morning for 5 days a week, right? And then then write down at the end of those 5 days what was the results of, or you can write down every day what that day was like, because these are the morning time. These are the things that you're going to deal with early in the morning, right? um, and it actually kind of dictates how your day is going to go. That's why limited belief is so bad. Wow, every day I'm getting better and better as a mother. I am deserving of love and respect. I believe in myself. Oh, that is wonderful, beautiful. That is beautiful. Oh my God, awesome sauce. Beautiful. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. I'm loving that, Miss Hall. Now, um, so yeah, I love that. So let me ask you this, Miss Hall. What made you write that? What made you write that? Can you tell me why you wrote that? Miss Dixon, if you're available, I know you're always somewhere around. Miss Dixon, I want to see yours too. I want anybody who's watching me right now to send us in the chat an affirmation. If you only can do one, just do one and then tell me why you did it. Write in the chat why you did it. So, Miss Hall, let me know why you felt that way. Okay. So, motherhood must be very, very important to you. And how you're being seen as a mother is important to you too, according to what I'm reading. I'm sorry, let me tell you something, you guys, I have a habit of doing. I read everything and I analyze it in my head. I don't mean to. Like, let me tell y'all, sometimes with my husband, oh, my husband, he makes me laugh sometimes. When we're talking and I say certain things and he'll say certain things, he's, here you go. I don't need you to analyze me. It is just a natural habit that I do that. An overthinker. So we'll be laughing at each other because it's like we be talking and then all of a sudden I start explaining what he's saying. And he's like, baby, I don't need you to analyze me. Okay. I just wanted to let you know some stuff, but you don't have to analyze. But it's just a natural thing for me to overthink. It goes in his head and it like moves around in there. And then I come out and say something. And look, let me tell you something. I'm not always right about some of the things I say, right? Because I can say that, right? But it's to the point where, man, she said it out loud. Um, so it's just hard for me. So that's the reason why I asked that question. Because another thing, the reason why I asked that question too. So as a coach, let me say, as a coach, when I'm doing my meetings or when we're talking, I I have a very bad habit of doing this. I don't think it's a very bad habit. It's a very good habit because I need to find out where you're at. So I was coaching this one young lady, and she was telling me all the stuff that she was going through and stuff. And what I do is I ask her to repeat to me what she said happened. And you're probably like, why would you do that? Because I want her to hear what she's saying while she's saying it. Because once you hear what you're saying, sometimes you can answer your own questions. My life is in turmoil. Okay, I have constantly gotten criticized and micromanaged about how I take care of my son. Wow. However, my son is happy and healthy, so I must be doing something right. Perfect. That is wonderful. Now, you guys see how she explained? And look, did you hear what I said about you when you put that affirmation up? I said just what I said. I said what you just explained to me. I told you guys it's just that's the issue. It's an issue for you. Um you try not to make it an issue, right? You try not to make it a big deal because it could be weighing on you very hard, right? And you try to make sure that you're not doing that, okay? And we put on this facade, right? We're good at putting on a facade and making it look like everything is fine when beneath all of that it hurts when people say certain things or when people criticize you about something that you're doing, right? Especially when it comes to your family, right? um and sometimes people do that just to be mean. Sometimes you're not doing anything wrong. Sometimes people are just mean people, mean spirited people, right? And the people who are criticizing you, they're doing it out of just sometimes just being mean. Let's just be honest. Some people are just mean people, okay? Right? And then sometimes people don't like to see you happy. So they will say mean things to you. They will do mean things to you. And they will criticize you. In their eyesight, your baby might not be healthy and happy to them, but to you, and that's all. And you said something very key. You said something very key. It's what you see. It's not about what anybody else see. It's about what you see. If it's grandma, it's what you're doing because you're not going to raise your baby like everybody else is going to raise their child. Okay? Your child is your child. He doesn't belong to the world. He belongs to you. He doesn't belong to anybody else but you and the person you had the baby with. So everybody's opinion doesn't matter. And I guess coming to that point and understanding that their opinion does not matter, that's the hard part. That's the step, that's the hurdle that sometimes it's hard for us to get over. Is realizing they don't matter. They, let me say this again, they don't matter. Their opinion is just that, something that belongs to them. It has nothing to do with you. Okay? It has nothing to do with you. Babies don't come with instructions. Let me say this again. Babies don't come with instructions. A how-do manual, a how-to manual. They don't come with that, right? So you have to do the best that you can with what you have. It's all right to listen to grandma, grandpa, um, mama, if she was a good mother, if grandma was a good grandmother. It's all right to listen to them. But what at the end of the day, that's your child. At the end of the day, yeah, at the end of the day, you raise that baby. That's yours. You're going to be 18 years, maybe sometimes it's long. You think it's 18 years, but it's really not. It's actually long because they never grow up to you in your eyesight. So you're going to always be there for that child, right? You're always going to be there for your child, and that's your child. The key word is your. Okay? He's your responsibility. And if you need somebody's advice, you ask for it. If you don't need their advice, then they don't need to give it. It don't matter, right? Basically, it don't matter if they don't if they if you didn't ask for it, it's just their opinion. And I wouldn't get caught up in it. But I get where you're saying. I mean, being a young mother, I was 19 when my son was born. I was lost. My mom helped me as much as she could, and she was right there for me, but I was lost. There was a mini day that I was like, what the hell am I doing? There was a mini day, but I did the best that I could. And I just wanted, we put in our mindset, we want the best for our children, right? And sometimes what we consider the best might not be the same best they want, right? So when they get a certain age, they no longer want to hear all that, right? So they want to do their own thing. But you got to know you're the one in charge. As long as they living under your roof, they got to do what you say. Now, when they get on their own, they can do what the hell they want. But when they in your house, they got to respect and do all those things. But yeah, I get what you're saying. I get with the ideal of somebody being very critical of how you raise your child. And again, their opinion doesn't matter. Let me say that again so you guys can understand what I'm saying. That goes for any situation. Their opinions don't matter. Period. If you go through life worried about how other people think about you and how other people talk about you, you will be so miserable. In every dream and every aspiration, you will never be able to overcome it because you spent so much time allowing those people who do not help you, do not pay for anything, do not keep a roof over your head, you let them hang around in your brain rent free. Don't do it. Coming from a recovering people pleaser, that's who I was. Coming from a recovering people pleaser, I know that feeling. I know how stressful it is. I know how depressing it can be, worried about what other people think of you and how you do things. And it took a lot for other people who came into my life and had to tell me that. Salita, just be yourself. You're funny. You're this. You're that. Don't worry about what nobody else. But I was so into people pleasing. It didn't, even though they were telling me all this stuff, it wasn't, it was bouncing off because I was still in, I hadn't recovered completely as being a people pleaser. And I use me as an example, Miss Hall, because I can relate to what you're saying, not in the capacity of being a mother, but in the capacity of anything. People always finding ways to criticize you about something you're trying to do. Okay? That's why I said what I just said. People always criticizing you when you're trying to do better, you're trying to get better, you're trying to ascend, you're trying to level up. People are going to be themselves. They're going to be whoever they are. Most people are miserable. So don't even get caught up in that. You do what you have to do. That's your baby. Okay? That's your baby. You raise him the way that you know how to raise him. Okay? And you love him, and you don't let that interfere with the love of your child, because believe it or not, a mother's feelings and their emotions and their energy does affect a baby. Okay? And I'm not just talking about the baby inside them while the baby is growing. I'm talking about on the outside too. Once you've gotten that bond, that affects the baby if you're mentally and emotionally unhealthy. So make sure that you do not let any of that get on your baby, and don't let that stay in your head. Don't let them um, spin rent free in your head, and let it affect you as a mother and as a person. First and foremost, you're a person before you became a mother, right? So you have to build you're welcome, sweetie. You have to build up your self-esteem enough to not to allow that to affect the rest of your life and the rest of the things that you have to do. Regardless, at the end of the day, you're the mom, that's your baby, and you have to maintain everything. You're the one who have to take care of that baby. You're the one who have to maintain, make sure if they're sick, you're there for it. You can't depend on everybody else. Okay, you have to depend on yourself and mentally. And a lot of times we're not prepared mentally and emotionally when it comes to children, when having babies, when nobody sits and tells us how to deal. And I'm not talking about, when I say, I don't want to say your parents are not there, I don't want to say grandma and grandpa's not there, I'm not saying that. I'm saying there are times when nobody's there. I don't know if you had the crying bout with your baby yet. If it's a baby, those crying bouts to me are the most depressing periods of having a baby. When I say crying bouts, I mean you've done everything for that baby and that baby will not stop crying. That to me, when I will, and to this day, y'all, I cannot stand to hear a baby cry. I can't stand to hear a dog whine. I can't stand to hear a cat meow. Like you can tell when a cat is wanting attention, like a baby cat wants, a kitten wants attention. That drives me nuts. That does something to me, because I think everybody, and I maybe that's the empathetic side of me, where I think everybody's supposed to be comforted, fed, taken care of, so they don't have a need to cry. Because I relate crying to sadness, when sometimes it's not sadness. Sometimes we just cry, right? Because it need to be done, a cleansing. But sometimes in my mind, I relate crying to sadness. Isn't that crazy? Well, no, it's not crazy, because that's a normal thing to do. I mean, sometimes, because babies don't cry all the time because they're sad. Sometimes their lungs is to strengthen their lungs. I don't see it like that. I think a baby should be cuddled. I think a baby should be happy. I don't think a baby should cry. That's just me, right? So I don't like to hear a baby cry. So I would be a terrible. I'm not a grandmother. I don't have any small babies around me, but I would be a terrible, because I would have a hold that baby all the time. That baby would not cry around me. I just Crying babies bother me. It really, really bothers me. Um, and you guys, this goes to a story. Miss Hall, you got to hear this story. This is funny, Miss Hall. You got to listen to this, right? So at the time, this is weird. I was stationed at Fort Rucker, Alabama, and I lived in housing. And it was around one of the holidays. And me and Tavares, my son, we had drove down here. We were down here in Louisiana with my mom. Fort Rucker is in Alabama, just in case if I didn't say that. And so we had already drove and we were here, right? So we get back, right? We get back to our house, and my neighbors come out all over the place. My neighbors were, Miss Swafford, because at the time, yeah, yeah, um, at the time, I wasn't married, so they was like, Miss Swafford, oh, we called the MPs on you. I was like, what do you call the MPs on me for? Because you left your baby. We thought you left your baby in the house while you were gone. You guys, let me tell you what it was. Have you ever heard a cat cry? If you listen to a cat cry, a cat sounds like a baby, literally like a baby, right? So they called the MPs to get into my house because they thought I left my baby at home the whole weekend. I think we were gone for the weekend or a couple of days or something. But we were down here in Louisiana. So everybody looking at, we thought you left but my son wasn't even a baby. He was a big boy. But they didn't know that, because lots of times they didn't see my son, because I'm a type person where you'll see me come and go, but not. They literally thought I left a baby in my house. and it was a cat. And the way the cat sounds like a baby. So if I would have heard that, that would have drove me crazy. I would have probably brought that cat in and fed it and everything. But I didn't know that. But it was just so funny because my neighbors, when they saw me drive up in my driveway, they just all came at me and started, we thought you left a baby. We called in people. Come to find out it was a cat. They realized that it was a cat and it wasn't nobody home. It, that to me, that was funny. Okay. Because a cat, if you listen to a cat, I mean, a cat that's really meow, they sound like a baby. They literally do. So that was my story, Miss Hall, when it comes to crying. So I don't like crying babies. You can't sound like, well, you can't sound, cat. Yes, cats sound like babies when they cry out. That's right. And it was a cat. And whatever he was crying for, he cried for a long time. Long enough for them to call the MPs on me. And we down here having a good time in Louisiana. I think it was a holiday. It was some kind of holiday that was up. I don't know if it was Thanksgiving or I can't remember what it was, but we were gone a minute, right? And so we get back and that's what it was. It was a cat that got up under the house or whatever, or in the yard or something. But yeah. So yeah, I don't like to listen to babies cry. I know that they have to they have to strengthen their lungs. I understand that. Really I do. But I do not like to hear a baby cry. I don't like anything to cry. It bothers me real bad. So I would always baby would be spoiled rotten around me. Literally, because I don't like to hear a baby cry. Um yeah, that was to me that it was funny, but it was really like it really made you think, right? That someone would even think that you would leave a baby in a house for the whole weekend. Not, I think if I'm not mistaken, y'all, I think that was around Thanksgiving. So we were gone for a whole week because we got off. In the military, we get off for that time. So I think it was a whole week we were gone, but we were down here hanging out with my mom. Because I don't never travel without my son. When I'm going somewhere, you can guarantee you he gonna be with me. I don't I don't travel without him unless it's something I have to really do. Like, in the military, when I go to the field and stuff like that, he can't follow me. But if I'm got some time off, I'll never leave him with anybody. If I got some time off, we going together. Wherever it is, we're going together. One thing about him, he knows he's traveled because we have traveled some places. I know they were upset once they arrived in fucking Kenya. Yep. They were like, why do y'all, in other words, probably like, why y'all keep calling us? Ain't nobody at the house. They knock on the door. I'm quite sure they probably even got in. I don't know. But I know they thought it was a human being up in that house, and it wasn't. My son was with me, and he's not that little. And we didn't have no other babies. So I don't know what they thought the baby was. But it was funny. It was funny, but it was serious at the same time. But I know I don't like to hear a baby cry, so I wouldn't have let that baby cry anyway like that. But yeah. So Miss Dixon, where's your affirmation? I don't see your affirmation in the chat, right, Miss Dixon? You're not gonna get away with that, okay? Thank you, Miss Hall, for participating. Now, Miss Dixon, I need your affirmation. But yeah, so I just want to say to you, Miss Hall, keep your head up, keep doing what you're doing, okay? And you be the best mother you know how, okay? Be the best mother you know how. Don't let anybody else tell you what type of mother you are, okay? Love yourself enough to believe in yourself that you're doing the right thing for your child, okay? I think that's very much so important, okay, for you, okay? Miss Dixon, um, I need you to get me that I need you to give me that affirmation. Yeah, I put a lot of pressure on Miss Dixon. Let me tell you why I put a lot of pressure on Miss Dixon, because Miss Dixon is something else. Okay? I don't just say that. She's that lady, and I know she is. Okay? I know she's that lady. Okay. My affirmation for today. Yeah, what is your affirmation for today? Don't ask me no questions. Give me the affirmation. Doggone it. Just give me an affirmation. It can be one or two sentences. And then tell me why you picked okay. You're welcome, sweetie. Anytime, anytime. So tell me, okay, now that you you need to tell me why you wrote that affirmation. First of all, because we ain't shutting down the show till Miss Dixon give us an affirmation. She thinks she's slick. Don't tell me you combing hair. Don't tell me you washing dishes. Don't tell me you cooking. I don't want to hear all that. I need your affirmation. This is class time, okay? Um, so also um, we have a webinar coming up. And look, if you do not get an email from me, please do not think I'm forgetting you. I'm doing these webinars in small increments. So if I do one when I do one, I'm gonna do one in December. I'll be doing another one in January. So I will be catching you as we go, because I want them to be intimate. When I say intimate, I want you guys to be comfortable. If there's something you want to say, you'll be able to say it in, during the webinars. But I want you to be comfortable with it, because I don't want to get a whole bunch of us together, right? I want it to be like I'm trying to do at least 10 people per session. Okay, all right, and then you can go back and listen, or you can go back and replay the one that happened probably like in December, so that you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, so if I don't get you on the email list this time, I will be asking Miss Hall. I'm gonna need your email, not on here, but you can email me on Facebook. Okay, in the messenger, to send me your email address. So I want them to be like intimate conversations we have. Okay, if you guys don't matter. If you don't mind with that, okay? My affirmation for today is keep moving forward on the right path, finish what I have started. Great. So why did you say that? That's awesome. I love that. I love that. So why are you saying that? You feel like you have to constantly remind yourself to keep moving forward? Is that why you say that? And I love the finish what you started, because that's the issue I have. That's the biggest issue I have. So tell me why I don't know if it's the same thing or not. And that's why you have to like really put stuff, like literally put things in perspective. And look, you guys, let me tell you something. So this is going to work perfect for, if Miss Dixon, this is going to work perfectly for the webinar that's coming up, because, and it's going to be the same thing when I do it again, because I'm going to be offering these two books. One of the books that one of the ebooks that I'm going to be offering, I'm worthy for greatness and I am great. I love that. I love that. Perfect. Awesome. Awesome. So one of the ebooks, this is the paper version, but when you do it ebooks, it'll come up. You'll get a PDF file. The Melanated Woman's Playbook for Time Management and Leadership. So you know why I did this one, right? Because I definitely need it. I definitely need the time management part. Okay, so this is going to be one of the things, one of the gifts that I will be giving to you once you go through the webinar, right? Um, but you have to stay through the whole webinar in order for me to give it to you. And the other book is called Empowering Women's Lives. Okay, and it says stress-free living, empowering women to thrive in a chaotic world is the other ebook that I'm going to be giving away once you go through the webinar. Okay. um yes, every time I look in the mirror, I have to remind myself I'm human. I forget to do so I forget I do so much, and some people don't appreciate what I do for them. They feel entitled. Remember the conversation? Yes, that's right. So what you and we had a deep conversation. Me and Miss Dixon had a great conversation about that. Um, and basically, you have to realize that you come first. You have to prioritize yourself, and I know it's hard to do that. And because we're similar alike with having this mindset that we have to please everybody, back to the people pleasing mentality we had. Let me tell y'all something. You know what? I think that is something most African American women hold on to. The reason why I say that is because I have a lot of affirmations daily. I write them down. Great, great, great. That's awesome. That is awesome. Um, I think as African American women, we're held, even though people don't want to respect that about us, but we're held at a higher standard than most women because we're told that we're stronger, we're resilient, we bounce back, we can do anything, and we've been told this all our lives. So we're not doing that all for ourselves, right? So we become these people pleasing people, right? Um, and when I hear somebody say, well, she's selfish, well, she did, it's kind of hard for me to hear that because in my mind, I was always told that I have to do this, I have to be there, I have to do that. There's the flexibility. I have to, I've been told that all the time. So you build that in your mind and you build it in your personality. So when you crumble and fall, everybody like, oh my God, what the hell? Not her. She can't handle that. Oh my God. It's it's a terrible thing not to be able to handle all that. But as you get older, and I'm telling you from an older woman's perspective, all of that ain't gonna matter because you're going to find that peace that you've been looking for, right? And you're not gonna have to care in the world, no care in the world about anybody, right? But yourself. Keep that in mind. You're going to care about nobody else but yourself. Not to say that's in the selfish mode. I'm saying because when all things happen, majority of the time, you'll see few people that'll come around when things ain't working out for you. And all those people you helped, all those people you set up with, all those people that you did all those things with, took them to the hospital, bought them grocery, all those things ain't gonna matter. Ain't gonna matter because everybody's gonna have something they gotta do. They gonna have something they gotta do. They ain't gonna have time for you. And I don't know if that's how you find out who your real friends are or nothing like. I don't even want to go that route with that. You just know how people are, regardless if they're friends or family or not. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because you'll realize who they are, and to me, you work with that accordingly. Just okay now, and don't feel bad if you don't answer their call. Don't feel. Why do you need to feel bad? Because they're the ones who let you down because you've always been in their corner. We have a habit of always being there for everybody else. And you know how we picture that in our minds? We picture that in our minds, or we put it in a box that this is how I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be able to help everybody. I'm supposed to do this. This is who I am. This is how I am. This is what I was taught. Sometimes we've been taught a lot of stuff that's not right. Let's be honest, okay? We've been taught a lot of stuff that's not right, and we don't realize and we don't find out about it till later, till after everything is over with. Yeah, we were taught to be nice and kind and caring and being there for everybody, but that's not what we're supposed to be doing all the time. And I'm not saying you do for other people and you want them to do for you. No, I'm saying if they don't have that same fervor for you as you have for them, that's a one-sided affair. If they don't have the same concern that you have for them, they don't have it for you, that's a one-sided affair. Yeah. Yeah, uh-huh. I'm glad, Miss Dixon. I'm glad. So you got to think about that, right? You got to think about that. And it's not that you're looking for them to be there for you, because we do things out of the kindness of our hearts majority of the time. But guess what? Your heart gets loaded. Your heart gets tired of doing everything out of the kindness of your heart. You know, especially when they prove to you that they're never going to be there for you. Especially when they prove to you in more ways than one that they're never going to be there for you. And remember, well, I guess you guys probably not part of one of our, we do readings, right? I do reading. And one of the cards will tell you, it's the eight of club, the six, I'm sorry, the eight of swords, no, the cups, eight of cups, and the six of swords. Those two cards show you walking away from something. Then there's a card that shows death, and it shows swords in the back, which means death to things that no longer you have a use for, right? So all of those cards, and the devil card and the death card, all those cards, not the devil card, I'm sorry, the death card is another one. It's not death like you're going to die. It's death to the things that no longer you have use for. The tower card shows people falling out of the tower. No longer you have a need for those people in your life, those situations that have been really hindering you from moving forward in your life. You're getting rid of them. That's what you have to do to a lot of people. You have to get rid of them out of your life because they're not useful. We have to look at it from the standpoint of having people in your life that has a purpose. Okay, we're having a whole bunch of people in your life and they don't bring anything to your table, right, to better you, because you want to have people in your at your table that want to uplift you, help you be motivated, help you to move forward in your life. Those are the kind of people you want at your table. Being entertained is wonderful, right? Because you need a time to laugh. But when you're on a journey and you're trying to do things, though, it's that's not a necessity in moving you forward, okay? In what you want. We talk legacy is your remembrance, what you reclaim, right? If they're not beneficial to any of those things, right? What's the use of them being around you? And I'm not saying, everybody in your life don't have a purpose in your life. I'm not going to say that. But I promise you, your circle will get smaller and you can concentrate on that circle of people and you can get from those people what is needed for you. That's why they say when you have ascended or leveled up, the same people that you used to hang with, you can't hang with those people no more because they don't serve a purpose in your life. And I know that sounds cold, but you need people in your life that's going to serve a purpose. Just having a whole bunch of people hang around you, sucking up your energy. Who's benefiting from that? Nobody's benefiting from that. So you got to realize that I'm not doing this. I don't. I don't want to say I don't need you in my life, but people have to serve a purpose, and you can do it slowly but surely. You can outright tell them, or you can slowly just stop calling them, stop hanging around with them. They'll get the picture. Oh, they're going to ask the question why, but they'll get the picture because you're on a path. You see, you got all these people around you, all this doing this, and you're supposed to be focused on what you need to do. What is going to make me a better person? Ask that question. What is going to make me a better person? And these people in my life, are they benefiting from me, or are they instilling in me? Are they showing me things that I can do to make me a better person? Or are they just benefiting? Okay, benefiting, sucking up my energy, right? Taking all what I know and not doing anything with it. Is that what you want when you're talking about being a better person, being a better mother, being a better daughter, being a better wife, being, a better friend. Think about that. I mean, it's all up to you. It really is. It's all up to you. And this is why these kind of conversations I love having, and I love doing this, because this helps me as well as it helps you guys. So I want you to know this is my therapy. This is a portion of my therapy too, for me, because I have to reconsider a lot of stuff, situations that I'm in or that I have in my life, and have to come to the point where whether or not, they're worthy, that I need to have them in my life. That's just something to think about. Okay, so you guys, I'm going to have to let you go because I have another show I got to do. I got actually two. I got to record one, and the other one I got to do live. So I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. I want to thank you for hanging out here on Vita One Clothing on Talk Shop Live. And you can't clip my wings. Definitely, guys, take advantage of our wrap dresses. You see, she has one on, and I have the other one on. And I'm gonna switch up to dresses. I gotta order some more. Um, but yeah, I wore this one Sunday, y'all. Right? I had that one on Sunday. So this is the newer one, and she'll probably have this one on Sunday night. She's probably have this one on Sunday night. So you'll get a better version of it. But yeah, that's I love that. And then I'll probably have the one she had on the other day, because hey, we switching them up. Um, but yeah, so definitely take advantage of it. $59 for one of our dresses once you order it. I know you ordered it. It once it gets to me, I'll let you guys know once they're ordered. I will let you know that it's been ordered, and I give you a time that they'll get back. When I ordered these dresses, I ordered them at the end of October, and I got them Saturday. So it doesn't take long for them to come back. So, and I order them 4 to 5 at a time. So I don't make a big bulk order. So I do 4 or 5 at a time, and that it gets them back quicker. When you do a big order, um, it takes it longer for them to come back. So yeah. So we'll be back here Sunday with Soulful Reset. Um, and like I said, Miss Hall, and anybody send Miss Hall, make sure you send me your email address in Messenger, okay? And I'll put you on the list for the emails that go out. And that is for our webinar that's going to happen December 2nd. I will be sending you the link so that you can sign up. And one of the things that you'll be getting in that, once you complete the whole session with me, is one of these. Okay? All right? Playbook for Time Management and Stress-Free Living Empowering Women. Okay? Either or one of these. So you're going to get either one of these. These are actually $9.99 for the ebook. Okay? But I'm going to give that to you guys as a gift. Okay? For staying through the whole webinar. So I am going to go ahead and let you guys go. Thank you for hanging out with me. You guys have been wonderful. Thank you, Miss Dixon. Thank you, Miss Hall, and each and every one of you guys from all my other streaming platforms. I will be back Sunday with Soulful Reset. And we'll talk more about this, because I think this is a great conversation. I'm glad you guys are interacting. This is what I need. This is what I would like. And don't be ashamed. Don't be shy. Definitely hit me back up. Also, you can join our website. You can join our Facebook page. Fat and Fabulous is the page, or you can join UCN. I'd rather for you to join UCN. Excuse me, Fat and Fabulous, because that's where all my stuff is. UCN is like our general area where we do everything at. But I would rather for you to join Fat and Fabulous. And also, you can go over on Salita McCall's YouTube channel and subscribe over there also. Okay, because we're over there too. I do a lot of things. I got that channel right there, and I also have another channel I do, which is Queen Universal. That's where my readings at. And also, if you're interested in any readings, you can also go over on our Facebook page called Black Queens Reading. Is another page, and then you can go on my main website, which is youcan'tclipmywings.com. You can go over there and shop in there too. There's journals in there. There's coloring books in there. I have everything. Just if you want it, it's there for you. Okay. All right. So thank you guys for hanging out with us here over here on Be the One Clothing. You guys have a great evening. And if you want to see the raw side of me, you can go. I'm getting ready to go over. Oh man, I gotta hurry up. You can't clip. No, I'm sorry. See, that's how you see how you get to have all that stuff going on. The Cameron B. Frank show comes on with me and my co-host, Crazy Son. Um, Effie shows up, and Nat and the whole crew, Miss Dixon, Miss Hall, we all be over there acting crazy, but we also be sharing information. So you can check us out over there too. That's on UCN, okay? So you guys have a great evening, and bye bye.